So in this video, we're going to figure out whether a number is a prime number or not a prime number. So to do that, we have to first understand what is the meaning of prime number. Well, a prime number is a number which is not divisible by any other number. Or I can say prime number can be divisible by itself and 1, but not any other number. Well, let me take an example to make you clear with this thing. Over here, I have 7 and I can write 7 as 7 into 1. So over here, I can write 7 as 7 into 1 and I have one more number as 9. Okay, so I can write 9 as 9 into 1. That's very simple, not that great. But I can also write 9 as 3 into 3 and I hope you know this. Okay, so but there is a case that when we can say that we can write 7 in any other way. Well, no, we cannot write 7 in any other way. We can write 9 in this way, but can we write 3 in this way? Can we write 3 as anything else than 3 into 3? Well, the answer is no, we cannot write 3 in any other way. Okay, so 3 is a prime, 7 is a prime, but 9 is not a prime. Well, if you will not able to understand this, then I can take some more examples. So this time I'm taking 5 numbers. Let's say not 0. Okay, so 2 as well. Okay, so this is gonna clear all the concepts of your prime and all. Okay, so here I have 15. Can I write 15 as 15 into 1? The answer is yes. But can I write 15 as 3 into 5? The answer is also yes. So I can write 3 into 5. Okay, that's the best way. And for 7, can I write 7 in any other way than 7 into 1? Well, the answer is no, we cannot write that. So we can just say 7 into 1. Okay, so my English is getting a bit improved each and every day, but I don't think so it's right good right now. Okay, so now I am getting 8. So can you write 8 in any other way? And the answer is yes. You can divide all the odd numbers by 2. Okay, so that's the best part of even numbers. So you can divide all the even numbers by 2, not odd. Okay, sorry, my mistake. Okay, so my bad. Okay, so now we can divide we can say 4 into 2, or we can say 2 into 4. Okay, so we are getting this over here. And for 9, I can say that we can say 9 into 1, and we can also say 3 into 3 as I talked earlier. So I can just say 3 into 3. Okay, and for 2, the main question is for 2. 2 is an even number, and depending on the 2, all other even numbers are not prime. But there is one problem, that 2 is a prime number, because see over here you can't if you look at the 2 is like 2 into 1, 7 is like 7 into 1. This both are prime. I'm saying this 7 is a prime number because 7 is not able to divide by any other number. In the same case, 2 is not able to divide by any other number. 2 can divide all the even numbers, but 2 is not divisible by any other number. Okay, so here you can see that we cannot divide this further. So 2 is a prime number. Yes, 2 is a prime number. Okay, so now let's just erase this and let's try to code these things in our Python. Okay, so first I will take a user input and I will just ask the user that please provide, I'll use this input over here and I'll just say enter number. Okay, so now user can enter a number and I'll just store this number in my num variable. Okay, but as you know, everything what you store in input is initially stored in the form of a string, and when you want to work with the stuff called as a multiplication or division, you need an integer. But over here our number is stored in the form of string. So to convert that number into an integer, what you're going to do is we're just gonna, okay, let me just erase this space. Okay, so here I will just convert this into an integer by saying int over here, and that's very simple, not a great task. Okay, so now I have converted my number, my input, into a integer. Okay, so now I have something called as num, and this num is containing a value, and I have to check whether this value is a prime or not. Okay, so now let's use a for loop, because of course we're going to talk about for loop in this video also, but this is the last video to talk about for loop. You can also practice some other questions by yourself, but this is something what I think I should definitely I would definitely make you know or aware about. Okay, so here I have I in range, and this is the main topic. What range will you take? Okay, so we all know that if I take range as 5, then things will go from 0 to 4, not 5. Okay, 5 is excluded. Keep this thing in your mind that 5 is excluded. Okay, so now let's talk. What I'm going to do, let me talk about that first. So I will just put range before, and what I'm going to check is I want to check that whether number is divisible by I or not. And if the number will be divisible by I, then I will be getting the remainder as 0. And if number is not divisible by 5 or any I, or any other number, like between that range. I have not defined the range yet, but I will soon define. Okay, so between that range, if the number is not divisible by that range, any number of that range, the answer will be not 0, and so I will be getting prime number. Okay, so as I will be getting 0, so in this case I can say that is not a prime number because that is getting divisible by any other number. So in this case I will just say not a prime, your bad. Okay, so for your bad I will be making this sad face. Sad face. Okay, so good. And now for else, I can say if the number is not divisible by any number, then of course this is a prime number. Now I'm gonna print prime number, prime number, prime number. Okay, so over here I'm getting prime. So I'm getting prime over here, and that's really amazing. I got this. Okay, so now I will make a happy face. Okay, so now for telling this code, then you can see, oh, let me just define the range first. So what do you think about range? How the things are going to happen? So over here, you can see that num is divided by I, and then we are getting 0. Okay, if we will get 0, then we'll print this. Okay, so here num is getting divided by I. You are dividing num by I. So what should be the num? You can divide the num by 0? Well, the answer is no. So we are not going to start the things with 0. Rather than 0, we are going to start with 1, but every number is divisible by 1. So if the number will be an prime number, then too it will be easily divisible by 1. Like you just have to divide something in one part, and things are already in one part. So how can you divide that thing in further parts? So answer will be, of course, the same. But what about 2? Well, 7 can't divide by 2, or 9 cannot be divided by 2. So in this case, I can say that we are going to start a range with 2. Okay, so that is something you have to keep in your mind, and we will take the range till the last number. Well, every last number can be divisible by itself, like every number is divisible by itself. So we'll be taking the number till n minus 1, but we have some special feature in our range, that range is not going from 0 to m, or I can say 0 to num. It will be going from 0 to num minus 1. Okay, so it will be automatically going till 2 to n minus 1. And here we got what we want. Okay, so now if I run this code, then I can see over here it is showing that enter number, and let me say I want to enter 9. Okay, or 7. Okay, so in this case I'm getting prime, but for 5 times, and this is something I don't want. I just want that the number is prime or not, but here I'm getting number as prime for 5 times. Well, let me take another number as 9. Well, 9 is not a prime number because you can divide 9 into 2 parts as 3 into 3. Okay, but still, let me check this, and you can see I'm getting prime number as well as not a prime number for one time. And that is because if I try to print the value of I over here, to make you clear with this concept, let me just print I. And now if I run this code, then you can see over here, if I say 9 again, and you can see over here I'm getting the value as prime first time for value of I as 2. Okay, because the first value of I will be 2. And then I'm getting not prime for the value of I as 3, because when you divide the 9 with 3, you're getting something which is equal to 0. So in this case, it will be not a prime number, but again, we are getting something as prime when the I value is 4, because 9 is not divisible by 4. So if 9 is not divisible by 4, what is going to happen? If 9 is not divisible by 4, we are not going to print this, we are going to print this. So again a prime. So as you can see over here, we're getting prime, not prime, prime, and not prime. Well, if you are a smart user, then you can easily understand that what is the correct answer. But if you are not a smart user, and let's say you are just a dumb user, and you just want to copy, and this is something which can help you to copy in your lower standards like first and second. If someone asks you what's the prime and which number is prime, which is not, so you can just come here and say, oh, 7 is prime or not, and after saying this you will be like blank what to say. It's prime, it's not a prime, it's both. Okay, so it's more prime, so I'll say it's a prime, but the answer is it's not a prime. So what I will do now, okay, apart from the jokes, what I will do now, so I have to break this condition when I'm getting not a prime. Okay, because I don't want to run the things again and again. If this thing is divided by something, then doesn't matter if it's not divided by any other number or not, because it is divided, so it is a prime number. Now there's no other case to check this again and again. There's no other way to check this again and again. So I can just say that I can what I can say, I can say break. Okay, so I'll just break this thing. Okay, so now I have break this loop over here, and this loop will get break after this. Okay, so if this value is true, if this condition will be, this thing will printed over here, and this thing will be break. So this loop will get break when this value will be true. Okay, so just run this code again to make it clear, and this time I'm going to take 15. Okay, so if my number is 15, then you can easily say that 15 can be written as 3 into 5, so it's not a prime number. But if I run this code, then you can see over here I'm again getting the same problem. I'm getting prime and not prime at the same time. If I erase this value of I to make it more clear, Then you can see now I'm getting 15. Just okay, so I'm getting prime and not prime at the same time. So again, the sixth or fifth class student will get confused, like what's the answer, yeah? Come on, don't do like this, but yeah. So now what I will do, I'll just make it more simpler by just taking this else with the for. Okay, so I will not take the else with this if part. Instead of that, I will be taking this else with the for part. So if for loop will get break, I will be coming to the else. I will be not coming to the else. And if for loop will be working, then it will, if this for loop will not working, so I will be coming over here. Okay, so for else, we have already talked about this in our previous video, like how for else works. So if you don't know about for else, you can watch our previous videos. Okay, so now if I turn this code, then you can see I have solved the problem. Okay, so now just let me just open this, and over here let me just say 9. So 9 is not a prime and I'm getting not a prime. So let me just check for 7 to clear this concept. So okay, a prime number, that's really great. So this is how I'm gonna make a code. I'm gonna make a program to check whether a number is prime or not. But still the question is not over, because this is not the effective way to check whether a number is prime or not. Yes, you will get the answer, but still there can be another way. Well, let me just explain this thing over here. Let me just explain this thing over here. Okay, so here let me just do like this. Okay, enough. So now here I want to explain you something, like let me take an example of 9. So if you want to check whether number 9 is divisible by any other number, what you will do is we'll start from 0, or I can say you will start from 2, and then you will take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till 7, then 8. So 8 will be your last number, and you will check, you will divide these numbers with 9. You will check whether this 9 will be divisible by these numbers or not. And if 9 will be not divisible by this number, you will be printing not a prime. Okay, so is there any other case by which you can check? Like, to be honest, when you divide 2 with 1, you are getting 2. When you divide 3 with 1, you are getting 3. When you divide with 4 with 1, you are getting 4. When you divide 5 with 1, you are getting 5. When you divide 6 with 1, you are getting 6. When you divide 7 with 1, you are getting 7. When you divide 8 with 1, you are getting 8. Well, these things seem to be a bit stupid. But now see what I'm gonna do. 2 into 1 is 2. 3 into 1 is 3. But if I say 2 into 2, then it's 4. If I say 3 into 3, then it's 9. We already got the 9 at this position. Then is there any sense to talk about this 4, 5, and 6? So you got it what I'm gonna say. So you should not check all the numbers, like you should not check till n minus 1. Instead of that, what you can do is you can say that over here I'm saying that I have one more variable z, and z is equal to num divided by 2. And as these things can become in a form of floating value, so just to avoid that, I will be converting this value into integer. So now I will be running this value from 2 to z instead of 2 to m. So this 2 to num. Okay, so this thing is gonna make my program half easier, or half 2 times faster. Okay, so now if I run this code, of course you are not going to see how fast it is, but yes, the computer can feel that. So if I take 7 now, so you can see I'm getting prime, so it's working correctly. If I take 9 over here, then you are getting something called as not a prime. Okay, so you can check big numbers also. Let me take a big number. Let's take 97. 97 is a prime number, so 97 is a prime number. Okay, so we're getting that also, so no problem with that. So now let's talk about something else. Is this the only way you can check whether number is prime or not? Well, still the answer is no. You can also do some more stuff, and this time I'm going to do the stuff. Of course I'm going to show you how you can do that, but you have to figure out why this way is more efficient than any other way. Okay, so that's your homework, and let me just show what's your homework. Okay, so this time I'm not gonna say you're gonna save the value of z. You're gonna just you're gonna divide the num with 2, and then you're gonna put that as a range. Instead of that, you're gonna square root the number, qrt, into 2. Okay, so you're gonna square root the number. I can say number into 2. So if the number is 7, then I will be getting 4, and the square root of 4, sorry, if the number is 2, then I will be getting something called as 4, and the square root of 4 will be 2. So okay, so let me take a big number to make it clear with this concept. So let me take an example of let's say 5. Okay, so 5 is a number, and 5 into 2 is 10. So the square root of 10 will be 2 into root, I can say that 2 into root. Okay, so there is something like, okay, so the square root of 10 will be, what will this square, okay, root 10 only. So if I check the value of root 10, then the value of root 10 will be, let me just check that. I don't know the value of root 10. Okay, so I'll just check that. So the value of root 10 is, where is my root? Okay, here, 10. Tanan. Right? So the answer is 3.4, 3.16. Okay, so we can just round off this value to 3, or I can say till 4. Okay, so now till 3 only, not 4. Okay, so now what is gonna happen is the first value, the first time 5 will be getting divided with 2, then 5 will be getting divided with 3. Okay, so with the help of square root, you can just make things more simpler. And if my number was very small, as it was just 5, you can take big numbers like 97 or 100 to check how these things work. Okay, so that's your homework to check how this thing's working. Okay, so now to use the square root, we have to call some functions. Okay, because this thing is not going to work. If I run this code, then you can see over here I'm getting an error. So let me just take 9, and you can see I'm getting error, and that error is, what is the square root? Okay, so we have to define the square root, and the best way to define is from math import, and we are going to import everything. So we'll just use this star. Okay, so now if I run this code, then I will be getting no error this time. Okay, so now let me end the session by clearing this question. Okay, so 9 is something, what's this? Okay, so I have to convert this in an integer, as this is going to be definitely a floating value, because there are few numbers whose square root can be found. Okay, so now I'll just convert this into integer, and now if I run this code, then you can see over here I'm getting this back. Okay, so let me take 9 over here, and before running I'll just make this screen a bit bigger. So now I'm just running this code. Okay, enter. You can say I'm getting not a prime. Okay, so that's the best part of this session, that we are getting something like this, and we are learning something called as algorithms, and I can say data structures. Well, we are just trying to make things more simpler and more efficient, more faster, taking less energy to solve that particular question. Okay, so this is how you're going to solve this, and you have to comment in the comment box that how these things work. Okay, so you can drop your comments or whatever you think about this program at the end. So all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.